Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and how are you guys? Yes, I guess I'm on a roll with creating episodes about Mr. NoHeart. One reason is while I'm writing my novel, sometimes I have to remember the moments where I had to hold in and kind of make sure I didn't start hating somebody because it's like I had to fight that with a few people in my life, but he's one of them. He is definitely one of them. And especially after or right before my surgery, and I needed him because I was in pain, crying all day. Doctors didn't know what was wrong, why I was in pain. And months prior, when doctors told me, "Go home, walk it off. You look fine. You're too young." It's like you're too pretty. I've had doctors say stupid things like, "You're too pretty." Disability doesn't care what you look like. Morons. You have a doctorate, but you're still so moronic you can't figure that out. But anyway, one toxic thing that my ex always did was have technological power over me. And with the end of our relationship, he wanted to buy me a laptop. And most people would be like, "Oh my gosh, yay, I'm so happy for you. That's such a cool gift and stuff." But with my money, and it's like I've mentioned this a few times, but I don't know if people understand how frustrating it is and infuriating because I dated this man for 7 years. When it's with his money, he only thinks I'm worth a stuffed animal. Since I don't have his kids, and since I lost the one that we were supposed to have, or well, it wasn't not planned. I didn't know until it happened. So to me, supposed to because I was, but, and you don't even know how heartbroken. You don't know the depression. I will talk about that in another episode. But you want to talk about depression? Whew, yeah. But, and witnessing him high five his roommate when it happened, or when I told him it happened, he had the nerve to go upstairs and celebrate with his roommate. Yeah. That's power that like men don't understand. Like sometimes when men are like, "We're having a bit," shut up, be quiet. All you did was aim right. Stop it. All you did was get stimulated during the right time in the month. Shut up. Now a woman, like, yeah. So anyway, with Christmas presents, he only thought I was worth a stuffed animal each year, and I was buying like throughout the year. I paid attention when I would hear him complain and yell at his daughters because they were messing up his controllers. And while he was playing his video games, they're like, "Oh, they messed it up." So one year I bought him two brand new controllers on sale, but brand new video game controllers. And then with his sheets, they were having holes and they looked dingy and ugly. So I got him new comforter sheets and things. And then sometimes when I would keep seeing him go to the same place to get coffees and stuff, get him gift cards so he can get coffee and things, especially since he was terrible with money, he would have the gift cards for those days where he didn't have enough money for gas and coffee. Did he do that? No, he went and bought it all the time until it ran dry and then still had his hand out for me to give him money. Well, lend him money, but he never paid it back. So it turned out being giving, even though I want the money back. But he always tried to gaslight me and tell me I have kids. Oh, see, and if you pull, like, if you're one of those guys that pulls that whole "I have kids" and you know that she wants kids, you're a jerk. You're so fortunate that she still sticks around with you, but you're a jerk. You should play that song too on repeat. Yeah. until it gets on your nerves. It probably won't though, because since you are a jerk, you're gonna celebrate it. But anyway, when it came to even the one Christmas present with the laptop, using my money for it, not letting me know, and that's why I say with power, because he wasn't even gonna let me know. He was just gonna do it. That was my money. He didn't care. Like he thought he was able to use me that much. I was at home in bed in tears crying because I was in so much pain. And doctors not knowing why I was in pain. So I'm crying because doctors don't know why I'm in pain and me suffering for months. This wasn't just a couple hours or a couple days. This was for months. And then I had to wait from November all the way till like the end of January to have that surgery. Imagine being in that kind of pain for that long. I was already in a lot of pain prior, but it was different pain. It got so much worse in November. But did he care? No. And the power of the cell phone is like the only time he called me, because I've said this before, but I was working one, two, three, four jobs at the same time, sometimes throughout the year, depending on the time of year. But especially when I was teaching, and then I did the after school program, and I was doing secret shopping all at the same time. And then my mom got diagnosed with cancer. So trying to clean up around the house and trying to, like, well, especially after she got diagnosed, part of me was just like, maybe now she will realize you only have one life to live. And it's like, I wrote up a draft or like a summary of what I want my novel to be. I already had the children's book wrote because that was a poem that I wrote, I think, a couple years prior. But I realized that I want to publish my books. This is unfair. You're threatening to kick me out. You say I'm going to be nothing but a failure. You say I'm never going to accomplish anything. But if you won't even let me try, you automatically think I'm going to be a failure just because I am me. Just because I exist, I am going to be a failure. And my ex felt the same way with me, to the point where every idea I ever had, he would always tell me it wasn't good enough. He would always put them down or tell me he would think of something better. But yeah, when he thought about having the 420 business idea, he begged me, and to the point where I was like, okay, it's like, as long as we do everything legally. Yeah, I did everything legally. I was going to take more classes on different ways to grow and make them higher quality, and like even like medicinally, how can people like allow it to help your body even more depending on the type of condition that you have, especially with depression, anxiety, cancer, things like that, because my mom was going through it. So I thought, you know what, maybe this is a way where I can learn how I can help her more. But then she just told me I was a sinner and I was going to hell. So I was like, you know what? Never mind. Just skip it, whatever. And so, but I was taking the classes, and even with businesses, I was going online, getting on YouTube, looking up things on Bing and stuff on having like running that type of business, and like how much money would I need to save to even open up a distillery. And some people are like, you just started, girl. Yes, I know, but I'm a dreamer. And especially if I'm going to start a business, I want it to expand. I want it to grow to the point where I can retire and not have to worry about people hiring me or not hiring me because of my disability. Back then, I wasn't diagnosed, but my walking was getting worse. I knew something was wrong, but everyone was telling me it was in my head. They were telling me I was a liar. I was making it up. I just wanted attention. But oh, look who's laughing now. I'm not, because I'm suffering through it. But it's just crazy, because he begged me to start that business, and then I ended up, because he had no money. He has he had no money. His credit score was absolutely horrible. He could not get a credit card. It wasn't until the end of our relationship that he could get a credit union account. And I was like, yeah, congratulations, that's baby steps, but I was happy for him. And that's the thing, whenever he had baby steps, I congratulated him. But when I accomplished something, anyone can do that. You didn't do anything, that's nothing. And when we started the business and I started getting clients, and his roommate was like, wow, she's really doing big things. She's like, this is really going to get somewhere. He decides to close it and never pay me a penny, never paid me back. Do you know how frustrating that is? I was paying for like the classes and the materials and just so many other things. But it wasn't going to be good enough for him, because that meant that I would be more independent. That meant like he thought my ego was going to get bigger, but I'm just like, what? Like, and that's just a guess, but it's like every time I accomplished something, he hated it, or he put it down, or he tried to make sure I didn't feel like I did anything. He wanted it to just seem like it was worthless. That was all of my, like, all throughout the relationship. All. And I remember the day where I am cooking breakfast, and it's like he went outside, and that's another thing, like, because intellectual power, while he was growing and stuff, I was like, I want to learn too, because it's like I did more because he begged me for the money, but I did more of the technology stuff. I got all of the clients because I did research on the websites and different ways to network and talk and stuff like that. And so I had a long, I we were doing really well, and I was really proud of ourselves of how much we accomplished in like such a short a period of time. But I remember I was cooking breakfast. He went to the garage and he was checking on everything, and he came back and told me, it's over. What do you mean it's over? I'm done. We're not doing it anymore. I've like materials alone to build that cost $1,200, and then I've spent almost 25 to $3,000 for the trainings and the certifications, and like even getting all of like even the plants and everything like that. What do you mean? And he was just like, no, we're done. Never paid me anything, never apologized, and just he didn't care whatsoever about how it hurt me. Never cared about how it hurt me, how it affected me. But then when I remember when I ended the relationship for good, oh, he like, it's like I don't think he cared. He was mad, but he didn't care because he never cared about me. I think he just wanted me because that helped him with his ego. I think that's all it was. Because he didn't care about, because if you care about somebody, you care about when they're in pain, you care about how they feel, you care about when they're depressed, you care about how they are. He did not give a crap about how I was and just what my condition was. He did. The only time was when I was breaking up with him, and he texted, you don't even know what you're diagnosed with. And he didn't know that I was diagnosed about 1 to 3 months prior. I think it was probably, it was between that amount of time. So I was like, yes, I am. I am diagnosed. But guess what this fool did? Guess what this fool did, or said, or texted? Well, I dated you for 7 months. You need to, or 7 years. 7 months. I wish it was only 7 months. What are you diagnosed with? What do you have? He felt like I was obligated to tell him after, well, remember technology. He took advantage of the technology in our relationship. So he never called me. Just, how are you? How are things? How are the tests? How's work? Or how are your jobs? How's your mom? How are you feeling? Are you okay? No. I called him every single day to see how he was after work, how his daughters were, how he was feeling, and or if he was like, if his vehicle was broken down, or just to see how he was doing, just to make sure he was okay and that he was mentally okay. He only called me when he wanted some, or he wanted my car, or he wanted money, or it was taking me too long to come over to his house. Even though, again, I was working 1 to 3 jobs throughout the week. My mom was going through cancer, so trying to clean up around the house, try to take care of everything to make sure she was okay. Trying to get my life to get, like, if I'm at work at 3 jobs, Monday through Friday, if I'm trying to help take care of her, It's like I'm trying to make sure my life and stuff is prepared and stuff for the next Monday. How much time, like Monday through Friday, doing that? So waking up, and then he starts calling me around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock p.m. And yeah, 6 o'clock might be a little late, but at the same time, 3 jobs. But I will change the subject because, yeah, let's just say I will never forgive him for that. And yes, that's against Christianity. Naughty girl, I don't care. I will never forgive him for that because he treated me like garbage. He treated me like just, if you're only going to call me when you need something, when you want something, but then whenever that person needs you in return, but then you just say, call your dad, figure it out, do it on your own. But then you don't understand why they break up with you or why they want nothing to do with you or why they feel like you're a waste of time, literally. Yes, he wasted my time. He wasted 7 years of my life. It's like at first I thought he was just had a broken heart from his ex because with how much he kept mentioning her to his roommate, I'm like, you wouldn't do this if you didn't. And I know I bring him up on this show a lot, and it's because I went through so much pain. I'm still healing, and at the same time, I keep hearing about Red Pill, and I keep hearing about these passport bros and these misogynistic, no good, stupid idiots. And I feel like I have to make sure Generation Z doesn't end up making the same mistake I did, because I dated an imbecile. I dated someone who was absolutely awful. It's like like every time he could take advantage of me, he did. I wasn't worth a Christmas present unless it was with my money. I wasn't worth starting a business with. And remember how I said he never wanted to teach me? But then he ended the business. And I told him, okay, I guess I'll have to start it on my own then. He laughed. He laughed. And this is what I'm talking about, like the technological or technology type of trauma. Because he was like, I didn't teach you. He was like, I taught you some things, but you still don't know anything. You won't be able to start it on your own. He made sure, like all the times, like I would go out and help him as much as possible, but he made sure to take care of the plants when I was not at home or not at when I was not at his home. He always made sure to do it as much as possible when I was not around because then he had power over the company. And he could close it down. It's and the stuff is still at his house. I want it. I'm trying to save money so I can get my stuff. I'm trying because even when we ended or when I ended up the relationship, we ended, but I ended because like he acted like he was upset. I'm like, you're only upset because now you won't be able to use my car and have my money, and it shouldn't be half, but you tricked me. Like you did a good job tricking me. You did a great job tricking me. But yeah, he don't be careful. Be careful. It's like if someone wants to start a business with you, and if they know the craft, stay with them all the time or in the contract say, when you're going to do something, let me know, or we do this at this time when I'm available. Only in emergencies do you do something, but like write it down and let me know so then I can know what's going on. But no, I wasn't that smart. I didn't know. I trusted him because he begged me to start the business. Absolutely begged me to do it. And I did. I did because I thought, part of me thought we could be a power couple. And that's the thing, a lot of men, because he dropped out of college, like a lot of men think I'm stuck up because now I require some sort of higher education, either a degree, a trade, or a certification. Yes, I do. Because a lot of men, they're so insecure. They're so insecure. It's like his mother was, he was so insecure, his mother was insecure. Cause yeah, the boy moms, ooh, it's like every time she could knock me down to in order to try to make her son look better, she did it, and he cheered her on to do it. He encouraged her to do it more. And then back with technology, with social media, it's like his family was like, "Oh, let's connect on Facebook and stuff." But they only want to do it because they like, yeah, I'm a Democrat. There, a lot of them are MAGA, so at first I wasn't, and he told me not to, but then part of me was just like, I want to know what they really think. Especially, I want to know what they say about black people. They don't know that until one day they might watch this, but it's like with some of the racist things they say, and oh, his mother posted some racist things, especially about the Muslim community. Oh, she hates the. Mm-mm. Okay, it was like, in my opinion, she hates. She may not hate, but she really doesn't like because she kept posting awful, idiotic things about the Muslim community. And sometimes I would like, and because it got to a point where he told me I'm no longer allowed to talk politics with them. And I'm just like, because I keep proving them wrong. Yeah, and he would even say they're stupid, but I'm like, no, you probably tell your family members I'm stupid because you always jump and tell me they're stupid, but yeah, but then you don't defend me when they say how I'm not one of them when black people are on TV, or they tell me how black people really are, or how they need to listen to Candace Owens, or how I need to be like her, and how I need to make sure that I pay attention to her so that I can grow up and be like her. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. That's no, ill, no, disgusting, absolutely, just oh my god. Okay, anyway, but did you guys even know that wasn't he wasn't allowing me to be his Facebook friends? We were never Facebook friends. He would be my friend on Steam. Yeah, like he wanted to be my friend on Steam, but then he didn't realize I was going to use that against him in all of his lies. Yeah, he forgot. Like when you're on Steam and you're friends with other people, whenever you get on a game, it lets you know. It lets you know. So yeah, guys, think before you act. If you're going to invite a woman into your circle, but then you're either going to cheat on her or take advantage of her or lie to her, make sure she's not able to catch you, because I have caught so many men do this, and then when I show them the evidence, they feel oh, like they get mad at me. And I think that's another reason they hate smart women, is because we are able to Nancy Drew and figure out what they're doing easily. But yeah, he never wanted me to be his Facebook friend, and one reason is being from Lake City. He always bragged about never having to learn African American history, and or celebrating African American month, and just it feels like a sundown city, actually. Actually. And I remember the first time that I went to see his family members because he told me I had to, and the at one of their July 4th festival things, they were singing and doing some other stuff, but it was a crowd of all the people from their area, and they were all staring at me, but staring at me so hard that the oldest daughter ended up crying, and she was like, "Why are they so racist? Oh my gosh, they're just staring at her. It feels so evil." And he was like, "They're just looking. They're just like they're not looking. They're staring. It's horrible." And she was crying. I had to walk her away. I had to walk with her, and their eyes were glaring at following me. I'm like, the stage is that way. The stage is that way. So chill, chill. Okay, I'm not entertaining you. Okay, okay. This isn't like I'm not Jim Crow. No, I'm not. I'm not. Or I'm not Jenny Crow. I'm not. I promise. That's how hard they were staring at me, though. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I sometimes wonder why he never wanted to be my Facebook friend, but then I have to remember who he grew up with, and even to the point where after all that singing and once he was walking around, and so we like his daughter was like, "Oh, okay, we'll walk like she didn't want to leave me behind, but she wanted to walk around with her dad. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll go too. And she was like, don't worry, I'm with you. And so, because yeah, when I say these people were staring, it was racist, scary, and to the point where I was like, dang, there's a lot of trees around, kind of scary. But he bumped into some people he went to high school with, and they were talking and talking and talking. I'm right next to him. I am right next to him. Does he acknowledge me? No. Does he introduce me to them? No. Do they say hello to me? No. I didn't say a word to them because they're looking me up and down like I'm some kind of trash, or like you should have seen the way they were looking me up and down. It was it was despicable. It was creepy. It was like I was put into a horror movie the way they were looking at me. And so I couldn't wait to walk away from them. But the later on I found out, oh, these are his friends on Facebook. These are his friends on Facebook. And so being a Democrat and being black, why, like, if none of your friends are gonna like me, and if you're so scared about what or how your friends are going to interact with me, you shouldn't date me. Some people might disagree, but if I feel like I'm in harm's way, and then, like I said earlier, if you're going to tell me that when your youngest daughter graduates, that's where you expect me to move to, you expect me to move up to Lake City, the same city where people won't even acknowledge me, people won't even shake my hand, people will stare at me like I'm just no good and filthy. When I went to the mall with his mom, oh my gosh, that was horrible. Like everyone was looking at me like I was planning to steal. I'm like, I have money. When I went and bought a necklace, I remember the woman was looking, like at first she was looking at his mom like she was gonna pay. I'm like, girl, I got a job. I have money. And I remember giving her my card, and she looked at my card like, oh, it was so frustrating. But even when I went grocery shopping with her another day, a woman came up to her and asked me if I was the help. Asked her if I was the help. Oh, and that got the oldest daughter mad. I had to pull her to the side because I'm used to racism. She's not like, and that's the funny thing. That trip, like, I think she's going to forget it because she's like, oh, since she's no longer dating my father, I'm not going to care anymore. But I think that showed her the racism that still goes on in our country. Because I remember having to pull her to the side, telling her to breathe. I literally had to tell this girl to breathe because she was turning so red. And it just got to the point where I was just like, I have to go through this all the time. Welcome to being black. Welcome to being black. That's all, like, you will never understand how it really is, but at least this is the chapter in your book where you get to realize what I go through. Welcome to my life. And she was just like, it looked like she was just going to break down in tears. And so we talked about it later that night, especially after her grandmother decided to be a little bit racist and talk about black people. And also, I think I got a job, or I got something, I forgot, something that happened before that trip. And my ex told her, and she wanted to tell me that it's only because I'm black and there's black privilege. And, but then, like, I remember 20 minutes later, she asked me when I was going to make her a grandchild. Oh, and she was like, you know how they're the cute ones. With how bad you talk about minorities, black people, and everything like that, how dare you? Uh, you put like you're a racist, but then they say, oh, his mother, I dated a black man once. Who the crap can, like, that doesn't make you not racist. Your son is dating a black woman and he has some racism in him. Every time you would talk about grape soda and laugh. Yeah, anyway. This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.